Hey, how y'all doing? Welcome back to 40 Minutes with 40. I'm your host, Free, founder of the 40 Strong, and I thank everyone for taking a moment to listen and understand prison reform. So, today I want to dive into a new bill that we drafted at the 40 Strong. It is called Fair, Accountable, Invested Rehabilitation. And we like to call it FAIR, FAIR, because it is extremely fair. So let me give you a little bit of history. So July 1st, 1995, parole was abolished by then Governor George Allen. As we all know, there was a crime wave in the 90s. They were calling teens super predators. It was just a lot. There's the drugs and different things going on. So all the states were hard pressed to come up with harsher penalties, different things like that, and Governor Allen of Virginia decided to abolish parole, which left people to serve 85% of their time. So anyone who was sentenced on July 1st, 1995 or after to today has to serve 85% of their time at minimum. With perfect behavior, you're doing 85% of your time, which means you're only getting 15% good time. We all know that that's crazy. Like anyone who's listening to that, listen, it leaves no room for rehabilitation. It leaves no room for hope. So a lot of guys have felt like, shoot, I ain't getting no good time anyway. What's 15%? Okay. So over the past 2 or 3 years, our members have continually reached out to us via email on JPay. Like, I'm doing this, I'm going to school, I got my GED. Why I can't get no good time? This ain't right. We get 15%. When is the law going to change? They're not giving us any hope. So it was on my mind like a year ago, like, maybe we can create something that could give good time to those who are working, going to school, even guys that's going to college, becoming a paralegal. And I started to draft Fair, Accountable, Invested Rehabilitation. So I'm happy to say that it was completed in August. We have been putting it out on Facebook. I've let guys here read it. Everyone loves it. They like, man, this is what's needed. I got my GED. I'm going to school. And the people who are checking it out that may not be doing nothing, now they're like, shoot, I'm going to school. I'm going to go and get my GED now if y'all doing that. So this is not just a tool for people to use to become better. This is also a tool to return those to society as better people. Because if we return people to society who has a GED, they are paralegal, they got a custodial maintenance or a barbering trade, they are more likely to succeed. Now, when you're talking about 15%, and I don't feel I have any hope, okay, I'm going to play chess. I'm going to play Scrabble. I'm going to sit around in the pod all day and do nothing. So we want the Fair, Accountable, Invested Rehabilitation Bill to provide hope, to make people better, which will in turn make families better, which will in turn make society better. So I'm going to read Fair, Accountable, Invested Rehabilitation to you, and we're going to do a little bit of interviews. Quite a few people that have read it. I'm going to let them give you their take on it, and we'll go from there. Fair, Accountable, Invested Rehabilitation. Any person incarcerated for an offense committed on or after July 1st, 1995 should be eligible to participate in the Fair, Accountable, Invested Rehabilitation Program. This program allows incarcerated individuals in Virginia DOC to reduce their terms of incarceration through documented personal growth, work ethic, discipline, education, and contributions to institutional and community well-being. The program shall apply retrospectively and prospectively and shall operate independently of any other time reduction programs under Virginia law. C. An eligible participant may reduce their term of incarceration by up to 10 days per month based on meeting one or more of the following rehabilitation benchmarks. Infraction-free. That means you haven't had any charges. 3 or more consecutive years, 1 day per month. 5 or more consecutive years, 2 days a month. 10 or more consecutive years, 5 days a month. Now, when we're saying infraction free, that's you can get an infraction for something as simple as missing your door, being in the shower a little too late, not standing for count. You was trying to get out the bed, but you was a little bit late getting out the bed. So it's not hard to get an infraction. So if someone is going 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years, basically walking the line as tight as they can, they should be rewarded. So 3 years, 1 day a month, 5 years, 2 days a month, 10 or more consecutive years infraction free, 5 days a month. Employment, participation, cumulative total years of institutional work assignment or employment, regardless of reassessment or transfer. This is number 2. Now, what I mean by regardless of reassignment or transfer, so let's say if I was working at a facility 2-3 years and I just got transferred to another facility, a lower level, whatever the case may be, that 3 years will count. That means I don't have to be employed now. I could have just got to a facility and don't have a job yet. But those years that I was documented employed, those will count. Okay. 3 or more years employed, 1 day a month. 5 or more years employed, 2 days a month. 10 or more years employed, 5 days is good time a month. Now this is crucial because if you have someone here working 3 years, 5 years, 10 years straight, that shows a propensity that this person will wake up and they will go to work in society. So these things should be rewarded. Continuous work ethic, getting up, being accountable. These are the things that we want to be rewarded because it shows a reflection of the person who's returning to society. So we do love this part about working and employment. Next part, number 3, education and program milestone. GED graduate, 2 days a month. Completion of 1 vocational trade certification, 1 day a month. Completion of 2 or more vocational trade certifications, 3 days a month. Completion of 5 or more approved personal development or rehabilitation programs, 2 days a month. Completion of 10 or more programs approved personal development or rehabilitation programs, 5 days a month. So, let me break this down. GED, 2 days a month, no-brainer. If you go over there, you take that test, you are immediately making yourself better equitable to go out to society and get a job, knowing how to read, write. These things are important. Trades are very important. So when we're saying 1 vocational trade, 1 day a month, 2 or more vocational trade certifications, 3 days a month, that's critical. Because you have barbering, you have HVAC, you have painting and drywall, you have roofing, you have print shop operators. So if you can get a person to get 2 or more trades, yeah, let's give them a few days a month because these trades can be used in society. You can be an electrician. I can go home and get a barbering job. So these trades that we're giving this good time for immediately makes that person employable. So we can't underestimate the importance of people going to get these vocational trades. And these are certified trades. I have a print shop trade that I took. I have a business software trade that I took years ago. And I have a custodial maintenance trade. That means I can go work at a hospital. I know how to wax. I know how to strip. I know how to maintain floors. I know how to be a print shop operator. That means I know how to operate a print press machine. I know how to do graphic design, etc. I know how to do business software. That means I know how to set up a business portfolio. I know how to set up an LLC, etc. So these skills immediately make me employable. So why not give a person 3 days a month of good time if they're going to get 2 or 3 of these? Because these trades will immediately make their recidivism low. They're not trying to go out there and pick up no drugs. They're not trying to go out there and get no more trouble because they have trades that they can say, I know how to be a print shop. Let me go see if I can get a job at the newspaper. I know how to do a custodial maintenance. Maybe I can get a job at a school, a hospital. So these things are important. Program. 5 or more approved personal development or rehabilitation programs, 2 days a month. So programs typically take a month, 2 months, or whatever. If you get 5 of those, you've been doing the work. You should get 2 days a month. These programs could be victim impact, cognitive skills, the hero within. These programs, they make you go in. You have to read, you have to write, you have to do homework. These are immediately making you a better person, which transcends to you going into society, which transcends to lowering any risk that you would have to reoffend, which is helping the community, which helps the family, which helps the taxpayers. Taxpayers don't have to pay for people to go back and out of prison. So that's the importance of that. So 5 or more approved personal development or rehabilitation programs 2 days a month. If the person has completed 10 or more programs, approved personal development or rehabilitation, 5 days a month. Next, number 4, higher education and advanced certification, college degree, associate level or higher, 4 days a month. So you have a lot of guys who are enrolled in college, doing the work, distance learning, going over there with a test proctor, taking their tests, and then getting their credit. If you get your associate or what have you, and you have a listed accredited college degree, they should get 4 days a month. Let's be for real. If a person comes to prison, gets their GED, redeems themselves, go to college, and accomplish getting a degree, they should get 4 days per month because they are immediately investing in themselves, which will immediately get them back into society, which will immediately help them get a job and keep them out of trouble. This is a no-brainer. Okay. Certification, business software, technology. Any certification like that. Special trade, distance learning, education, 2 days per month. Of course, accredited. You know, we want it to be accredited schools. We want these things to be documented, not just for DOC, but so when they get out, that person can say, I went to an accredited school in Iowa, California. This is my accreditation, blah, 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 blah. So that's very important. The third one, paralegal certification, 2 days a month. So paralegals, as we all know, are very influential in the law practice. You know, they do all the case running, the research. So if a person sits and does the Blackstone paralegal course, whatever that may be, and you take that year and a half out to understand tax law, criminal law, procedures, etc., you're making yourself employable. Once again, that's important. You want to be employable, you want to have a low risk to reoffend, and we want to be good for the community. So 2 days a month for a person who has invested their time and money, because those paralegal classes we recently checked, because we're looking to sponsor one of our members, it's $900 plus. So you're talking about someone who not only had them or their family invest in this paralegal course, but they took it, they passed it, and they got the certification. Okay. D. The Department of Corrections shall establish clear standards and verification protocols from awarding time reduction under the FAIR program. The department shall develop regulations, assessment tools, and documentation systems to ensure fairness, consistency, and transparency in the application of this program. E. Participation in the FAIR program should not guarantee immediate release. Any individual whose projected release is affected by the FAIR program shall be subject to a comprehensive risk and needs assessment and reentry planning process prior to release. And I agree with this. Let me explain what that means. So let's say they bring FAIR in. We get it in, one of the patrons, the delegates patron it. It passes law next year, 2026, February. It goes into law July 1st, 2026. Okay, once you get your good time from FAIR, it says that your time has exceeded. So you had 9 years left. You ate all that up with good time from FAIR. We don't think it's wise to just say, okay, go home. You had 9 years left. Why not take 60 days, Get your home plan right. Let's get you a job lined up. Let's make sure everything is on point, right? This is where we're at. We're not just playing games. We're not just, okay, kick him out the door and let him just run out there and fend for himself. We reserve the right for DOC to take 60 days, 90 days, whatever that is.
You have 1 minute remaining.
I'm so sorry, y'all, but I can't. This is what it is, 40 minutes before. To make sure that you have a job and everything. So that's what that means. The closing is fair programs should be subject to a comprehensive risk and needs assessment and reentry planning process prior to release. F. The Department of Corrections shall submit an annual report to the General Assembly regarding the implementation of the FAIR program. So that's pretty much what FAIR is. It is posted on the website. It is posted on the Facebook. I just kind of wanted to explain it a little bit more and just how great. Let me also say this in regards to fair, accountable, invested rehabilitation. We have annual reviews in which the counselor goes over all of your progress, whether you went to school, if you had a job, or anything like that. So the benefit of fair, accountable, invested rehabilitation is when the counselors do your annual, everything that you've done has been right there. And they could actually score it very, very easily because it's going to show if you've been working how many years, do you got your GED, do you have a vocational trade, have you completed your college. There's a system called Corios. And inside of Corios, it pretty much logs everything that you're doing, any programs that you're doing, etc. So this will be very simplified because right now the current system where we're getting earned sentence credit, that has to go through Richmond. And that pretty much could take a year. You know, some guys don't get responses. So instead of having to go through court legal and waiting for Richmond to calculate your time, fair, accountable, invested rehabilitation could be calculated every year during your annual review, as simple as the counselor looking at your achievements and anything that you've accomplished. Also, let me say this. When we're talking about reform and rehabilitation, that means that we're in the business of making prisoners better. That's men and women. Those who have made mistakes that are in search of a second chance. We have to understand that there is a reward system in life. When you're a child, your mom and dad say, okay, if you take out the trash, I'll give you $5. Then they say, if you go to school and get A's and B's, I'll take you to get some pizza, or I'll buy you a pair of tennis shoes. When you're a teenager, you're rewarded the same way. If you get good grades, you might be able to get a new bike. If you make it to graduation, all your family have all of these amazing gifts and stuff for you. Now let's transition that to an adult. If you do good at work, your boss or supervisor rewards you with a salary increase. You may get you may get an employee of the month, parking spot. You may get different things according to your performance. So why should that stop? Like, if this is the way that life runs and regulates us as humans in society, why would we stop rewarding people for accomplishments when they're in prison? It doesn't make sense. I believe that us, prisoners, should be more rewarded now than ever before because you want to build up the confidence, the morale. You want each person to believe that I'm going to go home and I'm going to live the rest of my life serving my community, loving my family, working a job, doing what I'm supposed to do. How do you do that? You show prisoners, inmates, offenders, whatever you choose, human beings. Because we call all of our members, we have over 4,000 members in Virginia DOC, we call them members because they're human beings. You show them that by investing in them. Now, investing in us is not saying, okay, I'm just going to give you whatever you want and you don't have to do nothing but sit around. No, fair, accountable, invested rehabilitation, it rewards you according to the work, according to the achievement. So right now I'm asking everyone to check out the bill. Like I said, it is on the 40strong.com. If you go to the fair tab, we also have it on Facebook at the 40 FORTY space strong. Our logo is a lion. Check it out. Support it. We're looking for patrons now. We do have a contest that we're doing that if you copy and paste FAIR, you reach out to delegates, you get them to read it, you get them to understand how this will be good, not just for the person, but for the family, for the community, for recidivism, for reducing crime. If you can find a patron, a delegate or a senator, that will patron this bill, and this bill goes before the General Assembly, 2026, 2027, whatever you can pull off, we have done a fundraiser with different families, organizations, and the fundraiser is now up to $2,270. So if you take and copy and paste FAIR, and you get on and find you a delegate and go through and check out the delegates and send them an email, hey, I'm trying to get you to patron this bill. I think it's great for not just the prisoner, but also the facility, because FAIR is going to make facilities immediately safer. Because now you go from people waking up, like, I'm going to go play some chess, make a meal, watch some TV, to, hold up, I need to get in the program. I need to go get me a vocational trade. I need to stay charge-free. So all of the things that used to happen, violent acts, different things that's going on, nobody's going to do that, because my good time is based on my behavior now. My good time is based on me keeping my job, staying out of trouble. So FAIR will immediately make facilities safer for those that are there, as well as the officers and the staff, as well as the administration. So I'm telling you now, if you can get FAIR, you go on our website, the40strong.com, or Facebook. If you can copy and paste it, write up an introductory letter, basically stating why this is needed. You're asking them to be a patron. You get you a 5-10 minute meeting, shoot your pitch. Hey, this is FAIR, boom, boom, boom. This is what we think is necessary. Can you be a patron for this? You get us a patron, you verify these things. Right now we're at 2270. We have every intention on getting this contest up to at least $3,000 to $4,000, and we're going to do it as we're talking. We're raising money now. So with that said, I'm about to close this down. We're going to have some people that's going to speak with you, just make comments about FAIR. We did do a poll on FAIR, and I have the numbers right here. So out of the poll that I did, we did 117 people. 112 of them said that they would immediately enroll into the FAIR program. That's passed. They all agreed. Every person I spoke with, these are Caucasians, African Americans, Hispanic men, old, young, different beliefs. All 117 people said that it would immediately make facilities safer, pods safer, etc. So I'm just asking everyone to look at this bill. We are still, as an organization, and our members supporting other bills. There are other bills that's been going up for years now that have been vetoed in the last couple years. We will be supporting those with all our might, but we also see a valid need for fair, accountable, invested rehabilitation. So I thank you guys for listening. Please check it out. Read it for yourself. Replay it the way I read it. I tried to read it as best I could. I know I kind of stumbled a couple times. Blame it on me, don't blame it on my heart. My heart is behind this. I love reform. I love the whole thing of rehabilitation and finding ways to make it better. And that's what's needed. So I'm going to have some people commenting on FAIR. I didn't force them. I asked a few people. Everyone wanted to do it. I narrowed it down to 3 or 4 people who it will really affect. The rest of the guys, they're going to be typing up different things on Facebook. We have been doing FAIR comments on our Facebook page for the last month or so, where guys are pretty much saying, hey, this is how it would affect me. Check out our Facebook. It's on there. So see why this is important. When you have bills and things like that, when I wrote FAIR, I knew I had to be intentional. I knew I had to cover bases. I knew I had to show why something like this was so valuable. So we will be having different people speak, different other testimonials coming up. But stay tuned. We got some people coming up right now that are going to speak on FAIR. And thank you so much for listening. This is Free, founder of the 40 Strong. This is 40 Minutes with 40. And we have some people coming up. Thank you.